Again, one thing I appreciate about these services is just the diversity and the different styles of preachers. Some are more emotional, some are more formal, some are more intellectual, but we're all different. We all receive differently from different people. And we need to be able to receive differently from different people. I'm talking about John 19:30, it is finished. The whole verse says, when he had received the drink, Jesus said, it is finished. With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. It is accomplished. And the tense of the verb, it means it is finished, it stands finished, it is always will be finished. Yeah. It's done, it's accomplished. Christ's work is completed. Earlier in John 17:4, Jesus' prayer, he said, I have brought you glory on earth by finishing the work you gave me to do. Jesus completed the work that God gave him to do. So the question is, what was the work God gave him to do? We probably have different answers from different ones of you who went around the room. What was Jesus' work? One time he answered it, I think. John 10:10, second part says, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. That's why I came. He came to give you life. And the only way for us to get life was for him to die and be resurrected. Another time he said, Luke 19:10, for the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost, of which we are. He sought us and he saved us. All we need to do is believe. This phrase, it is accomplished, it is finished, was used in different senses, different ways in Jesus' day. One way it was used by a servant speaking to his master, saying, I have accomplished the work that you assigned to give me. Whatever you gave me to do, I've done the work, I've done it, it's finished, it's accomplished. But also another way that phrase was used was by merchants who said, your debt is paid in full. Same phrase, it is finished, it is accomplished. Tetelestai, it's done. Your debt is paid in full. So when Jesus said, it is finished, he was saying, I have done everything that God has given me to do. I have paid the debt. The debt that we couldn't pay, he paid. The debt that he didn't owe, he paid for us. It's finished. Verse that Paul read earlier, 2 Corinthians 5:21. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. Our sin was transferred to us, to him. His righteousness was transferred to us. The divine exchange. Grace. It's a gift. We didn't earn it. We can't earn it. It's grace. Because of what Christ did on the cross, his life, his death, his burial, his resurrection, we have peace with God. We have been reconciled to God. He has given us life through his death. There was an old evangelist who tells a story about a young man who came to him and said, what must I do to be saved? And the evangelist said, too late. And the young man said, too late? Is it too late for me to get saved? Is there nothing I can do? And the evangelist says, too late. It's already been done. All you can do is believe. There's nothing we can do to gain God's acceptance. There's nothing we can do to earn salvation. It's been done. It's by grace. All we need to do is believe. We are justified by faith alone. And as Luther said, that faith is never alone. That faith always produces good works. But the good works don't save us. We're saved by grace through faith. It is finished. It is accomplished. It is not Jesus plus any activity on our part. It's Jesus plus nothing. And that changes everything. It's by grace through faith that we are reconciled to God. It is finished. All we need to do is believe what Christ has done and embrace that and receive that. Embrace his salvation, embrace his reconciliation, embrace his peace, embrace his life. It is finished. You don't have to work towards that. Receive it, walk in it, know that you are loved by God. We can love God because he first loved us. Amen?
Amen.
All right, a couple closing statements. As I said earlier, it's Friday.
But
Sunday's coming, baby!
Yeah.
Some of you guys might be living at Friday, might be in the midst of Friday. it might be dark for you. But know that Friday and Sunday's coming. We can't have Sunday without Friday. We can't have Easter. We can't have resurrection without death. On the time of Good Friday, it was black, it was dark, it was devastating. It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. So right now you are in the midst of a Friday. You are in the midst of darkness. You are in the midst of discouragement and frustration and aggravation and all kind of other things. Know that Sunday's coming. Put your faith in Him. It's not your job to buckle down, do it. You can pull yourself out. One of my favorite verses when you've gone through different times, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 9 says, "These things happen, that we might not depend on ourselves, but on God, who raises the dead." We don't depend upon ourselves when things are dark. We depend upon God. What God do we depend on? We depend on the God who raises the dead. That's the God we serve. That's the God we love. That's the God who reached out to us when we couldn't reach out to ourselves. We couldn't fix it. We depend upon God who raises the dead. It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. We finish out with this benediction. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Or in the words of Roy Rogers, may the good Lord take a liking to you. Thank you